This video is presented by Audiobooks Now. They offer a selection of over 320,000 digital audiobooks that can be downloaded and/or streamed. In the description of, and as the pinned comment for this video, is a special link from me, Ryan Holman, to a 30-day free trial of Audiobooks Now, and also to get 50% off of your first audiobook. Arguably, Dale Earnhardt Sr. was NASCAR's greatest driver in a Cup Series career that lasted from 1975 to his fatal crash in 2001. Earnhardt won 76 races and 7 championships, the latter of which is tied for the most. For a long time, something Earnhardt was unable to do was win the Daytona 500. From his debut in 1979 to 1997, Earnhardt led 562 laps in the 500 and had a best finish of second place 4 times. Meanwhile, through 1997, he had won 18 series races at Daytona, including exhibition events. Earnhardt performed well at the track, but, for whatever reason, was unable to win the 500 in its first 19 attempts at it. For 1998, Earnhardt won the second qualifying race for the 500, after starting second and leading for all 50 laps. It was the 9th consecutive year that he won one of the qualifying events. The win meant that Earnhardt would be starting 4th for the main race. At the start of the 500, Earnhardt remained in 4th place and was close behind Sterling Marlin in 3rd. On the 7th lap, Michael Waltrip challenged Earnhardt for 4th, but Earnhardt remained ahead of him. 3 laps later, Earnhardt drafted behind Marlin and got past Terry Labonte. He was now 3rd. On lap 15, Marlin passed Bobby Labonte for the lead and Earnhardt tried to pass Labonte for 2nd, but instead got passed for 3rd by Derek Cope. However, before the end of the lap, Earnhardt passed Cope back. On the 18th lap, Earnhardt got the lead of the 500 by passing Marlin. He continued to lead until Labonte and Cope passed him on lap 37. However, the next lap, Earnhardt challenged Cope for 2nd and got the position by the end of the lap. Then, on lap 46, Earnhardt got back the lead by passing Labonte. 4 laps later, 7th place Ernie Irvan was the first of the leaders to make a pit stop. As lap 57 ended, Earnhardt was close behind Jeff Gordon and Rusty Wallace, each of whom had pitted. The next lap, Earnhardt made his first stop of the race, with 2nd place Cope closely following him. After returning to the track, Earnhardt was in 10th by the 64th lap. 2 laps later, he passed Ward Burton for 9th position. On lap 70, Earnhardt was 7th and trying to get past Chad Little for the next ranking, while drafting behind Mark Martin. The next lap, after having passed Little, Earnhardt passed Dale Jarrett and was in 5th place. On lap 90, Earnhardt attempted to get into 3rd place by passing Martin, but nobody drafted with him initially, and 5th place Little tried to pass him. However, Labonte started to draft with Earnhardt, so he kept his position and Little dropped back. On lap 107, Earnhardt followed Gordon and Wallace to the pit lane. 5 laps later, he was 4th behind Joe Nemechek, who still needed to pit, Gordon and Wallace. On lap 116, Nemechek pitted and Earnhardt moved into 3rd, still behind Gordon and Wallace. On the 122nd lap, Gordon and Wallace moved down to lap Rick Mast. Earnhardt remained higher than them and briefly got the lead before Gordon passed him back. Towards the end of the lap, Earnhardt got the lead, again, but Gordon passed him before they got to the timing line. Earnhardt got the lead from Gordon early on lap 123, with Wallace and Jeremy Mayfield drafting behind him. 3 laps later, the race had its first caution period due to Burton having a tire failure. During this time, the leaders pitted, with Wallace beating Earnhardt back to the track. The race restarted on lap 130 with Earnhardt close behind Wallace. The next lap on the back straightaway, Gordon attempted to pass Earnhardt for 2nd, but Mike Skinner drafted with him, causing Earnhardt to remain ahead of Gordon and then pass Wallace for the lead. Early on the 142nd lap, Earnhardt was leading the race and the low line. Ken Schrader briefly passed him for the lead on the outside before Earnhardt passed him back. The following lap, Earnhardt moved a bit ahead of the field. The race had its second caution on lap 174 due to Johnny Andretti and Robert Presley crashing. During this period, Earnhardt and most drivers stopped. Earnhardt led Skinner back to the track. The race restarted on the 178th lap with Earnhardt still as the leader. Early on the next lap, Mayfield moved low and into 2nd, but Earnhardt blocked him and kept the lead. On lap 183, Mayfield tried to pass Earnhardt on the back straightaway, but Earnhardt blocked him and remained the leader. With just over 10 laps remaining, Earnhardt led Mayfield, with no other drivers forming a separate line amongst the leaders.
You know, Jeremy Mayfield sitting there in 2nd does not have quite as much time on the major speedways as the guy in front of him, the guy behind him. But right now he has a great race car. I hope he knows, though, when you pull out, if you're right up under the car in front of you, you don't have momentum. You need to lag back and let that teammate help you get a run up the back straightaway so you make the move on the car in front of him.
All right, Professor Baker of the Buck Baker Racing School, you taught Jeremy Mayfield during winter testing. Does he have the killer instinct to beat these two and win this race?
Let me tell you something. Look at all that bunch right there. Every one of them a winner. You're a track champion before you ever get in the Winston Cup. Every one of these guys are talented race car drivers, and I won't take any credit. He got here on his own.
Dick Berggren?
Richard Childress is watching the television. His driver is ahead, but they're all ganged up behind you. How does Dale Earnhardt prevent these guys from passing him?
That's going to be tough. You know, two cars can just go. You know, Mike got shuffled out. I was hoping Mike could sit there with him, but those two cars got to run on Mike and just hung him out. And his car's a little loose, too, so he's doing a good job. And, you know, Dale Earnhardt, he's been here many times. He knows what he's got to do.
He does indeed, Mike Joy.
And those 6 cars in the lead pack may be about to become 12.
Just watching Jeff Gordon, he had dropped back and gotten himself back in that group back there. Now he's running the front group back down there. Has some good drafting partners with him.
10 laps to go. The driver leading with 10 laps to go has won 22 times in the 39 runnings of the 500. But 4 times one of the drivers of the 17 that have not have been Dale Earnhardt. 1989, 1990, 1991, and 93. Earnhardt has been right here with 10 laps to go. Bill?
I'm with Paul Andrews, crew chief for Jeremy Mayfield. Kid's doing a great job, but what happens next?
Well, I don't know. We've got about 8 more times to go around here. We'll find out. You know, the Mobil 1 car's been real good the whole week down here. We feel like we're in pretty good shape. We feel like we've got a real good car. But, you know, there's a whole line of cars right behind us. So one wrong move, we could right in the back. But, you know, we're real excited to be here in the position we're in, and we're going to go for the win here in a little bit.
If Jeremy goes, will Rusty go with him?
Well, of course. That's what teammates are for.
Indeed.
Paul Andrews knows about winning. He won the Winston Cup Championship with the late Alan Kulwicki behind the wheel.
They're still running average laps of almost 188 miles an hour, and they're getting close to that 500-mile mark.
8 laps to go. 20 miles, buddy.
Guys, it hadn't been long. We had 4 cars in a breakaway draft. You have many cars now in contention. You see Rusty pushing up a little bit. Bobby Labonte looking on the inside as they head down the back straightaway.
Labonte has Jeff Gordon with him. Mike Skinner to the inside. Rusty Wallace goes down like Cale Yarborough and Donnie Allison did on the last lap in 79. And here is Bobby Labonte on the outside, the green car.
Jeremy Mayfield fighting back on the inside there. Jeff Gordon just up under him as they come down towards the front straightaway. It's a dogfight as these guys, Jimmy Spencer makes contact there.
They're not going to wait for one to go. 7 laps to go. Here comes Mayfield right up against the bumper of Earnhardt again.
Whoa! Right up under, but here comes Gordon now. Where did he come from?
Gordon fighting on the outside. If he gets up under, look at this dogfight off turn 2 as they go down this long back straightaway.
Wallace on the inside. Labonte way up on the outside. And somebody got shot out of the middle like a hot dog flying out of the bun.
Here comes the teammates on the inside trying to drive by. Jeff Gordon going into turn 2. Give it to Mayfield.
They had got separated there for just a moment now as they come off of turn 4. Mayfield is right back there again, sticking his nose of his Ford right up under Dale Earnhardt's Chevrolet.
6 to go, baby. Remember what you told me a year ago. Don't let him get a run on you.
Gordon on the outside, buddy. Can he get there?
We have a situation here. We have 2 groups that are running very well on the high side of the racetrack. I don't think there is such a thing as a great line around the racetrack right now.
Wow. Now the teams and the manufacturers are split up. It's Chevy, Ford, and nobody has a teammate next to them.
Let's see what Earnhardt's doing right now. Right on the white line around the bottom of the racetrack here. That groove you see from the white up there, that's the racetrack. The rest of the flat part of the racetrack, right out against the wall. You can see him heading into the dog leg here. He'll go right down to the bottom.
5 to go.
He's protecting that low line. Now he'll come back out here.
Ray Evernham tells his driver Jeff Gordon 5 laps to go. And look, 16 cars are in contention to win the Daytona 500. Remember 1979, when going into turn 3, Cale Yarborough and Donnie Allison crashed. Richard Petty was in turn 1 at the time and led Darrell Waltrip and A.J. Foyt to the checkered flag. You don't need to be on the front of this train to win, but it sure helps.
Lady, we feel just like you do up here in the broadcasting booth. Not a one of us are sitting down. I just got out of my chair, as a matter of fact.
Off turn 4, where David Pearson and Richard Petty crashed on the last lap of the 500 in 1976. Pearson limping across with the victory.
Everybody trying to get themselves in position. They know that they're back there in 5th or 6th place. They're not in position to win the Daytona 500. Bobby Labonte is in a bad position there right now, running side by side with another car.
Ernie Irvin has worked his way back into contention right now. He's under Bobby Labonte. That's the group running side by side back there. That's not a good thing with just few laps to go, though.
Going to be 3 laps to go. Down to the inside comes one of those Fords. They're 3 abreast once again.
Rusty made the pass on Jeff Gordon down the back straightaway. Now the car in front of him's a teammate. If they work together, they could have a chance at Earnhardt near the end here.
And Buddy, he made that pass without the help of another car right on his bumper. That was pretty impressive.
3 laps to go. Any one of these cars could win it. Earnhardt, Mayfield, Wallace, Schrader, Bobby Labonte in prime position. Jimmy Spencer coming up on the inside.
There's Labonte trying to go on the outside of Rusty Wallace off of turn 2. Can he make that pass?
And also, Ned, he split Rusty from his teammate Mayfield. And Jeff Gordon's dropping back.
That looks like a problem on Gordon's car. He's completely out of contention here.
Into turn 3, where Leroy Yarborough beat Charlie Glotzbeck on the last lap in 1969.
Look at Bobby Labonte coming up on the outside by himself. He got a little help from Jimmy Spencer.
Oh, Jimmy Spencer.
Spencer bounces off the wall, keeps on trucking. 2 laps to go.
Big time hit by Spencer, but I told you Bobby Labonte was moving just a little while ago. What a muscle move on the outside. Fastest qualifier here for the 500, showing his muscle now.
3 makes in the 500, Chevy, Pontiac, Ford. That's how they run. But Earnhardt has a benefit. There's a slow car up ahead.
And there's trouble coming off of turn 2. Some cars get strangled. It might be this. Whoever gets back to the start-finish line, they'll get the white and the yellow together.
Lake Speed and John Andretti tangle as the leaders head for turn number 3. Andretti and Spencer got together.
This could be the Daytona 500. Bobby Labonte goes to the outside.
Labonte up high. Earnhardt uses the lap car of Rick Bass as a pick. 20 years of trying, 20 years of frustration. Dale Earnhardt will come to the caution flag to win the Daytona 500. Finally, the most anticipated moment in racing. If John Elway can win the Super Bowl, Dale Earnhardt said he could win the Daytona 500. And if he comes around under caution to complete this final lap, the taste of long-awaited victory will be his.
Wow, what a drive by Dale Earnhardt, doing everything he had to do today.
And Bobby Labonte saying, boy, I needed that last lap.
At the top of the show, you saw the steely eyes of Dale Earnhardt. I'll bet they'll be tearful when he pulls into victory lane.
Let me tell you, it'll make the strongest man on earth cry when you win this race. It's special.
Bobby Labonte comes across the line to the caution flag in 2nd. Jeremy Mayfield's Ford 3rd. Kenny Schrader with a shot at that $2 million bonus, as did Bobby Labonte. Checkered flag. Dale Earnhardt finally is a champion of the Daytona 500.
The 20-year quest is over. Gates have just opened for Dale Earnhardt in victory lane at Daytona. Here's his wife, Teresa, coming to speak to him. One for Dale Earnhardt, perhaps one for Neil Bonnet as well. About to ratchet himself out of this beautifully prepared car. He said patience was what it was going to take, and patience is what he gave it. All right, getting on the hat. He's waiting on this. And he's ready to clamber out. Ready to step out of car number 3. The winner of the Daytona 500. Oh, gonna have a drink of soda here. It's been a long time before refreshment here. All right, here he comes. Out of his car, and listen to this. Two decades he's waited for this moment, and it's here, and everybody gets a bath. Dale. Yes, yes, yes. What a show.
Yes.
Here with Larry McReynolds and a big hug. And Richard Childress. Dale, how about that ride?
How about it? Man, can you believe it? For one, got an awesome race car, but for two, thank good Lord for a good day. This race car did everything. The good Lord looked after it all day long. Good wrench. This is for all them race fans and all them people have been saying, Dale, this is your year. Dale, this is your year. And boy, a lot of them said it this year. All the way from Mr. France, all the way down to Todd Parrott and all the guys on the team. The Daytona 500 is ours. We've won it, we've won it, we've won it.
And everybody took a shot at you at the end.
I don't care who was taking shots at me. I was driving the mirror more than was the front, but you know, I tell you, these great sponsors, these great people that's worked with us and give us everything we need to win with. This is a good race car. The Spinny Clinton. Hey, David, congratulations on your baby. And Larry McReynolds, Spinny Clinton, Richard Childress. We got one heck of a race team. We're going to win a championship this year.
One for Dale and one for Teresa, one for Neil Bonnet, two today.
Well, one for a lot of people. T. Wayne Robinson and, you know, all Neil Bonnet, my dad, everybody that's been in racing has been my friend that taught me so much, that touched my life. There's so many of them, I can't thank them all. My mom, thank you, Mom. I know she's back home. Dale Jr., hope you're not too sore. Carrie and Kelly, I love y'all.
You've touched a lot of people here today, and we'll be back for the trophy presentation in a moment after these messages.
You the man. You a bad man. Good job. You next, buddy. Good job, buddy.
In Earnhardt's 20th 500, he won the race after leading for 107 of 200 laps. As Earnhardt went to victory lane, pit crew members from various teams congratulated him on his triumph.